As we discussed earlier, individuals move through their daily lives forced to make decisions because of limits on time, energy, place, talent, and resources. Two principles are useful to keep in mind when contemplating the nature of the choices we make. Incentives matter, and every choice has a corresponding cost. First, consider the fundamental economic fact that a change in incentives influences human behavior in predictable ways. If something becomes more costly, people will be less likely to choose it. Correspondingly, when an option becomes more attractive, people will be more likely to choose it. This simple idea, sometimes called the basic postulate of economics, is a powerful tool because it applies to almost everything that we do. This basic postulate explains how changes in market prices alter incentives in a manner that works to coordinate the actions of buyers and sellers. If buyers want to purchase more of an item than producers are willing or able to sell, its price will soon rise. As the price increases, sellers will be more willing to provide the item while buyers purchase fewer items until the higher price brings the amount demanded and the amount supplied into balance. Some individuals think that incentives matter only when people are greedy and selfish. That's not true. People act for a variety of reasons, some selfish, some charitable, some business, and some political. These respective choices will be influenced by changes in personal costs and benefits. For example, each individual will be more likely to rescue a child who has fallen into the shallow end of a swimming pool than in a flooded river with rapid currents. And each individual is more likely to give a needy person their worn clothes rather than clothes just purchased. It is thus worth repeating. Changes in incentives influence human behavior in predictable ways. The second economic fact we want to consider is that everything has a cost. The reality of life on our planet is that productive resources are limited, while the human desire for goods and services is virtually unlimited. Because we cannot have as much of everything as we would like, we must choose among alternatives. Doing one thing makes us sacrifice the opportunity to do something else we value. This sacrifice is often what economists refer to as opportunity costs. We often hear it said that some things are so worth doing that we should never consider the cost. At first, making such a statement may sound reasonable. However, everything has a cost. Ignoring the value of foregone alternatives does not make them disappear. What economists do is pay close attention to the alternative choices and make sense of them in the larger context of the decision-making process. Economists always consider alternatives, and in doing so compare at least two choices prior to making any decision or giving any advice. This is an aspect of the economic way of thinking that everyone can benefit from in their daily lives.